Many organizations joined together in the spirit of 9/11 Day of Service and Remembrance to rebuild One Day Ranch, a horse rescue, therapeutic riding, and animal education facility in Oklahoma damaged by tornadoes. Travel Television was there to witness the event through the lens of John Ainger II.
May 19th, we obviously knew that it was going to be a red day. Grab a leash, grab a dog, and go to the shelter. So we ended up down there about 13 dogs, and myself and my fiance were underneath in the storm shelter. The horses, we turned out completely, opened all the gates. That's the best thing to do for them whenever a tornado is coming. They all jumped in the pond. That's how the horses rode out the storm. You know, with tornadoes, it doesn't matter. So if you're in that mile area, if it's a mile-wide tornado, it just does a lot of damage that you weren't expecting.
Every year around the 9/11 anniversary, New York Says Thank You sends volunteers from New York, as well as disaster survivors from all across the United States, to a community hit by disaster to help rebuild.
You know, New York Says Thank You, I didn't even know about really until I think it was February of 2014. We were still trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to rebuild? How are we going to do this? We just really were not 100% sure how we were going to make it happen.
This year, we're here in Bethel Acres, Oklahoma. A very special barn that was destroyed in the Shawnee tornado, damaged beyond repair.
Just been helping out as much as I can. I'm from San Francisco, California, here with the Jewish Disaster Response Corps.
We are a service learning disaster relief program, and we do long-term disaster recovery. We mobilize Jewish and interfaith volunteers.
The JDRC has just been pivotal in making this happen. They got the Jewish communities involved, both locally and nationally. Without them, I really don't think this could have actually happened either.
So one of the first people we met was Megan Hadley, who is the owner of One Day Ranch.
They saw a picture of me and a kitten that was on Associated Press, and it's the infamous kitten picture.
And at that point, Jeff had been in touch with me from the New York Says Thank You Foundation because he knew that we were out here doing work in Oklahoma. And he asked, can you find a big project for us? Look out for it. When I heard her story, I immediately called Jeff. He came out to Oklahoma 2 days later. We came and visited the barn together, met Megan, and realized that this is a woman who just deserves the most, and we wanted to give back to her.
And that barn at One Day Ranch serves as both an animal rescue for horses and other abused and neglected animals. Megan Hadley also trains those animals to be therapy animals, to provide therapy training and programs for kids with autism and little kids with cerebral palsy and adults with multiple sclerosis.
So we were able, with the generous donations and support of local community members, the Jewish Federation, the local Jewish Federation, and the Native American community, to really put this together.
I volunteer not only for the opportunity to help others, but I think it's an amazing experience to get to know other people and to grow as a person.
It's going great. It's great to see so many people. They're excited. Everybody's working, hands on deck. People are so happy to be here. And it's great to see the community out here too. Everybody's so appreciative.
And it's our way of saying thank you for all the love and support that New York got from people from small towns in Oklahoma, all across the country and the world in the days following September 11th.
The great thing about this organization is that each year, as we go to a community and rebuild there, people from that community then join us on the following trip, and so on and so forth to pay it forward.
And when you think about it, what we do is not about 9/11, it's really about 9/12. And that was what it was like when all Americans of all faiths, all backgrounds, cultures came together to help each other recover and heal, and that's what we're doing here today.
It really kind of feels still like surreal. Like, I'm not 100% sure that this actually happened, but it did.
We are the first group that has stayed here at Camp Evans as volunteers, and the facility is amazing. We've got great beds, they've got showers and bathrooms.
It has a really nice lounge area with television, and it's nice for community building too.
The way it's laid out, right?
The way it's laid out, and you know, we go out and we're working really hard all day long, and we can come back to a comfortable environment and an environment that you know, that's engaging and really meets our needs.
So why do I volunteer? Lots of reasons. I guess number one, it's a great way to meet new people. Every trip that we've ever been on, you always meet new people, and they become friends for a long time. For a very long time. We get together a couple of times during the year to kind of go over things. And it's the type of thing that you can do physically. You see the end result, and that's really, really what the best thing is. Like today we went in and we literally walked into an empty room, and now that room is completely sheetrock. And that's an amazing feeling that you can do something for somebody else and see the end result. A lot of times if you give money and things of that nature, it's great, but you don't feel it or see it or touch it. And I think that's why most of us do it. I know that's why I do it. My talents are I can whack a hammer, I can sheetrock, I can mud, I can do a whole bunch of things. So for me, it's a way to give back for all the things that God's been great enough to give me in my life.
The difficulty was not only, all right, what organization do we align ourselves with, but where do we stay? Where do we house 30 women? Where do we house a large number of people? And so this is kind of the perfect storm now, if you will, where we have St. Bernard Project that we feel very connected to. We really like their process. We feel, they vet people very well, and they help us to do a good job. And now Camp Evans is here. It's a wonderful facility.
The reason we do it, I do it, it's a great feeling. I mean, we get a lot more out of it than the actual homeowners do. I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but the idea of doing something that's helping somebody else in such a big way, a home is not a home until you're able to be back in it. So that's really why I do it, and probably why most of us do it. So, and we love doing it.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this facility. We wouldn't be here volunteering in Monmouth County if it wasn't for this facility, because it wouldn't be possible.
We couldn't be here. I mean, we would want, and we have wanted, to be here now for 2 years, and we couldn't make it happen.
I think when people see this, it would be great if they could take a ride down the shore, physically get in their car and take a ride down and see what some of these houses what these people have been living with for the last 2 years. It's amazing that everything has not happened as quickly as everybody thinks it should. Yes, there's lots of money there, but people are still without a home for 2 years. That's a god-awful long time to have to be staying with either friends or relatives or motels and hotels. So get involved. It doesn't hurt. It really doesn't. Yeah, you get a little sore occasionally, but a good hot shower, we'll take care of that.
This whole thing would not be happening if it wasn't for this facility that Monmouth County Long-Term Recovery has put together, because there's no place to stay and people move on to a place where it does work for them. So I think that this is going to be, as time goes on, it's going to be it's a godsend.
But try it. Try it, you might like it. You may only come once, but at least you give it a try, and you always know that there's an end game here. It's bringing people home, and that's what it's all about.
Okay, I'm Connie Elmore from Poquoson, Virginia, the little water town surrounded by water much like this area.
My name is Jamie Crumpler. I'm from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and I'm here to work on houses that were damaged or destroyed by Hurricane Sandy.
My name is Kevin Vallis, and I'm from Long Island. I grew up here on Long Island. I grew up a couple of towns from where we are. We're in Long Beach right now, and we also have sites in New Jersey, Toms River, New Jersey. We have a site in Moore, Oklahoma, and those are rebuilt sites. And currently we have 5 or 6 disaster response teams. I think we have 2 in Alabama, 1 in Arkansas, 1 in Kansas, I believe, and Pensacola, Florida. And they're helping out with the hurricanes, not the hurricanes, the tornadoes, and the flooding in Pensacola. Those right now are disaster response, and so in other words, they go in immediately after and they take care of trying to help as many people out as they can, just gather up whatever they can and help them clean up and, just kind of the initial response.
I'm here with Samaritans Purse, doing a rebuild project with them. This is my 5th, I think we figured out, trip with Samaritans Purse doing rebuild projects. I do it first of all because it gives me an opportunity to love on other people the way Jesus has loved on me and provided for me my whole life. But I also personally experienced a disaster, my family and I. In 2003, Hurricane Isabel came through and we lost our home. We had 40 inches of water in our home and ended up tearing that house down and rebuilding after 2.5 years. So I've walked through a disaster, but was blessed enough to have enough insurance that we were able to rebuild a home.
I have been through a couple of tornadoes myself, haven't had a lot of damage, but I've seen the total destruction that a hurricane or a tornado causes. And I'm just here to be the hands and feet of Jesus, and we were created to do his work and to look around us and find where people need help and to do it. So that's why we're here, and Samaritans Purse is a great organization.
You have to meet certain criteria, like this gentleman here. We're just finishing the project. He had enough money with insurance to get it about 80% of the way, but he couldn't get the last 20%. So we came in and we hung the doors, we put a hand railing around the stairwell, we put in molding and painted and so forth like that, so he can get his certificate of occupancy, so he could finally move into the house. Right now we're just doing like the last 2 pieces of sheetrock and a utility closet just to get that last threshold of what's necessary so they can get the certificate of occupancy.
To be able to come on a trip like this and help other people who are experiencing what I experienced is beyond words. And I encourage anybody else who's thinking about doing something like this. Samaritans Purse is a great organization. They make it so easy, so inexpensive to participate in something like this. I was shocked to know that they would take me because I didn't know anything, didn't have any skills whatsoever, but they've taught me a lot and put up with me, and I've actually been able to help. So it's awesome. So just, again, encourage anybody who might be thinking about doing something, take that first step. It's scary at first to step out and do something that's out of your comfort zone, but in the end, you get more out of it than the people that you're helping. It's a chance to go away and get out of your life and not have to think about anything except someone else, and you are so blessed by that. So thanks for letting me share my story.
This is Ecuador. This is the Amazon. And these, the waterways, are the highways we use to explore the jungle.
So I'm taking a 90-minute hike through the rainforest, and we just came to this amazing tree. Take a look at it over my shoulder here. It's called a kapok tree. It goes 130 feet up into the sky, literally reaching for the sun. And the canopy, the top of the tree, hosts a ton of wildlife, everything from insects to snakes to birds to frogs, because they want to get to that light, which gives them life. Now, if you want a perspective of how big this tree is, take a look. I'm 6 feet 2 inches tall. What do you think of this? Unbelievable. This is known as the lemon ant. You see them crawling, the little guys? And the reason they call them the lemon ants is because they taste like lemon. So I'm going to give it a try and see what they taste like. Tastes like lemon. Yeah, tastes like lemon. You want to try it? Anybody want to try? Just you guys. Well, there are some surprises. I bet you didn't expect to find lemon-flavored ants. I certainly didn't, and gosh, I certainly didn't expect to eat them. But of course, there are plenty of surprises here, and we're going to see another one in just a moment.
The jungle was amazing, but the biggest surprise was this prepared lunch that met us at the end of our trek.
Stay safe no matter where you travel. No one wants to think about illness or injury while on vacation, but being prepared can bring peace of mind and prevent potentially dangerous situations. ITriage is available for Apple and Android devices and can help you manage your health conditions and medications, look up symptoms and side effects, research procedures, and estimate healthcare costs. The app also locates nearby emergency rooms, urgent care clinics, and specialists, and provides estimated wait times, contact information, and turn-by-turn directions. To make the most of ITriage, which has been downloaded more than 8 million times, be sure to enter important health information before your trip, so it's handy when you're away from home.
The face of volunteering is really changing as well within the Trust, and we're finding within our own portfolio we are able now to create opportunities for volunteers to come along to actually manage projects for us and use their skills that they've gained in other areas to actually take quite responsibility within the Trust. We couldn't do what we do without volunteers.
I applied to be a volunteer because it offers the ideal experience for going into this field, and you learn the sort of skills which will make you stand out.
I applied for a full-time volunteer role with the National Trust because I was really drawn to the sort of job description of being outdoors. Having been in education for 17 years, I was really keen to get out and about.
My volunteer role was being number 2 basically to the senior ranger, and I was part of managing the National Nature Reserve, which includes the sedge fen.
It started first of all as a boatswain's mate, sitting at the front of the boat as a safety officer and really telling people about what we were seeing. Trust very kindly paid for me to do a powerboat course, and so I was promoted to the back end of the boat and started taking it out on a regular basis. There's meeting people all the time because obviously the passengers on the boat, and just, you know, look around you. It's a lovely place to work.
What I enjoy most about volunteering is meeting the visitors, talking to them, answering their questions and talking about the rooms in the house.
The thing that surprised me most is how quickly we have become a part of the house and how quickly you've become initiated into this quite bizarre history.
The house is wonderful. There's such a feel to it, and I know when I walk into the Queen's room, then I'm walking through a door that Elizabeth of York walked through in 1487, and that gives me such a lift. I'm hooked on the place.
If we want to do something a bit different, so for instance, if I'm icing lemon cakes, I might say, oh, can I do this, that and the other? And they'll say, oh yes. It's all very flexible and just a lovely place to work.
I feel that I'm able to contribute something, but more so actually to make a difference.
I think it's putting something back into society. That's really the main thing. Helping the environment in the sense of leading children into being, or giving them empathy, to empathise with the environment. But I think it's mainly, say, putting something back.
Volunteering has increased my confidence greatly because I've involved with all the different school groups, all different ages from preschool children right up to 14, 15-year-olds.
If I was to recommend full-time volunteering to a friend, I'd say for them to definitely consider doing it and just get as much experience as they can from it and just get involved and get stuck in, really.
I do other volunteering outside of the National Trust and I don't find it quite so fulfilling as working here.
You're putting something into the nation by volunteering.
Yeah, it's a good time, you know, and the volunteering for the Trust is a good experience.
Why do I volunteer?
Larry says he likes to tell people where to go.
It always amazes me that people fly into Portland and they want to see it all in one day.
Larry's wife Mary says,
this keeps us out of the taverns.
Whatever the reason,
we could not operate without them. Yeah, could not do it.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is the largest provider of water-based outdoor recreation in the nation. The Portland District's recreation program includes 135 recreation sites, nearly 500 campsites, and more than 750 miles of shoreline. 10 million people visit every year. Thanks to volunteers like Larry and Mary Schoen, the Corps can keep programs up and running.
They help fill in the gaps where we can't be. They do those things that we just don't have the staff to do.
More than 900 Portland District volunteers in 2012 worked nearly 22,000 hours. The measurable value of their service, nearly $480,000. The true value goes way beyond the bottom line.
They add a lot of character to our facility. They are interesting and they have a lot to offer, and it's a win-win because they get a place to share that.
It's a friendly smile, it's a welcome, it's flowers in the restroom at the visitor center. It's those types of things that make a warm, happy place for people to come and enjoy our parks.
In Portland, Oregon, I'm Michelle Helms.
Have you ever watched a reality TV show and thought either A, this is so pointless, or B, that looks like fun and I want to do it. I can do it even better. We can help you combine all these scenarios into one fantastic experience while getting you your 15 minutes of fame. Every person watching has the ability to join or form a team of volunteers who will travel to the Jersey Shore for one weekend and document their experience. You will film yourselves doing the important work of helping your neighbors get back into their homes, and others will be watching you and voting for the best team during each episode. Your efforts might just propel the next team of volunteers to get off the couch, get on the bus, and become part of the solution.